Good morning, grade 2s. Today is Monday. Welcome back. We are going to continue talking about fractions. And fractions is a fancy word to mean that we're talking about part of a whole. So we're not going to eat the whole pizza, but we're going to eat part of it. Maybe one slice, maybe a few slices. So fractions are how we represent something that isn't the whole thing, but just part of it. Okay? And last week we took some shapes and we divided them into half, which we write the fraction like this. There's two parts, and if we take one of them, it's a half, okay? We also took our whole and broke it into 4 parts, and we had the fraction 1/4. So can you say this with me? 1/2, and can you say 1/4? Okay, so those are the fractions that we started with last week, and we're going to continue with that today. And what we're going to do is I put 4 strips of paper. Remember, you don't have to do the math on the back. You're just going to use them. I'd like you to get those 4 strips of paper, so press pause if you need to. You're going to get the 4 strips of paper. You're also going to get this page. If you notice at the bottom, it has 35 down there. And you will need your workbook as well, okay? So we're going to start with our first strip of paper, and we're going to fold it in half, which means we take from one side, bring it over to the other side, and fold it in half. So now we have 2 parts. I would like you to color in one of those parts, please. Okay, I forgot to mention, yes, you will also need something to color in. So I'd like you to color in, and press pause if you need to slow down a little bit. Okay. So I've got 1/2 of this rectangle colored in. So if I want to think of it as a chocolate bar, I've got 1/2. Okay? So I'm going to put my 1/2 down, and I'm going to get another piece of paper, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to fold it in half, so bring it over to the other side. But I'm going to fold it in half again. So bring this over again to that side and make sure you get good creases. And when you open it up, we've divided it into 4ths, right? Because there's 4 parts here. I would like you to color in one of those parts. Okay, so I've got 1/4 colored. Okay. I have 1/4 colored. Okay. Now I'm going to get another strip of paper. Okay, and I'm going to fold it in half. You fold yours in half again. Fold it in half again. And if you can believe it, we're going to fold it in half one more time. Crease it really hard, and if we open it up, it is divided into, how many boxes is there? 8. So if I color in one of them, it's going to be 1/8. Can you say that with me? 1/8. Do you remember when we've learned, or when we say the date, and we say today is May 8th, okay? That's how we say fractions. We add that TH when we talk about the place of value, or the place of something, the ordinal numbers, when we learn first and second and third and fourth and fifth and sixth, okay? So we have, and I'm going to write it up here. I'm running out of space here. We have, can you see over here? We have 1/8. Okay, I'll move my camera over so you can see it a little bit better. There we go. We have 1/8, and that's what one of those boxes colored in looks like. Now, for the next one, if you can't do it, just watch mine, because this one's a little bit trickier. This one, to fold, I want us to fold it in so they're equal pieces. So I'm going to take both ends and bring them in and overlap them over each other and fold. And crease down both sides. If you can't do this, because that's pretty tricky, that's okay. Just watch my screen. How many parts is there on this one? 1, 2, 3. So if I color in one of those, I'm going to have what's called 1/3. And I'm going to draw that in here. 1/3. Okay. I have 1 out of the 3 parts. Okay. And that's how I can write these fractions. Okay. Now, as I said before, there is a little bit of remembering how to say fractions, because we don't say 1/8, we say 1/8. So I'm going to write them on the board and we're going to say them together. Okay? So this first fraction is called 1/2. Say that with me. 1/2. Then we call this one 1/3. Can you say that with me? 1/3. Then we call this 1/4 or 1/4. Say both of them with me. 1/4 or 1/4. We will call this one 1/5. Can you say that? 1/5. 1/6. Say that with me. 1/6. 1/7. 1/7. I'm going to run out of a little bit of space here. 1/8. Say that with me. 1/8. 1/9. 1/9. 1/10. Say it with me. 1/10. We can even go higher than 10. We could do 1/11. Say that. 1/11. And the last one that we'll do for today, but you can keep going, would be 1/12. Can you say that? 1/12. So just like when we were learning our ordinal numbers, the position of something like a race or the date, we would add that TH to it. Now, what we're going to do is I'm going to take my strip that I divided into thirds, okay, and I'm going to color another box. I'm going to color in another part, okay? And I would like you to tell me how many thirds are colored now. How many of them? 1, 2. So I'm actually going to write my top number. You'll learn next year, it's called the numerator, is 2, because there are 2 parts colored. And then I draw my line for the fraction. And how many total parts is there? The total, not just the colored ones, but the total. 1, 2, 3. There's 3 parts all together. So 2/3 of my rectangle is colored, okay? So the number on top tells me how many are colored, and the number on the bottom, the denominator, tells me how many parts are in the whole, how many all together. And then I want you to say it with me, 2/3. Now you can get the one that we made into the 8 little ones. Do you remember? And we're going to color 4 more. So we already have 1 colored, and we're going to color 4 more. You can do that with me. Hit pause if you need to. So we already had 1, and then I want you to color 4 more. Okay? So it should look like this. Now, we're going to, how would we write this fraction? Well, the number on top is how many are colored in. How many are colored in? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 are colored in or shaded. And then the number, we do the line for the fraction, and the underneath tells me how many pieces is there all together. Well, how many boxes is there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 total boxes, and 5 of them are colored. So I would say 5/8 are colored. So the top number we say normal, 5, but the bottom is where we add that TH. 5/8. Can you say that? 5/8 are colored in, and that's how I write this fraction, okay? Now, you should have this page right here, Now, I'm going to do a couple with you, but then I want you to complete the rest for your work today. So let's look at the first one here. How many pieces of this circle are colored in? 1, 2. So the top number I'm going to write is 2. Okay, so you do that too. Write a 2 on the top. And then the bottom number tells me how many pieces are there all together in the circle. How many pieces are there for the circle? 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to put a 3 on the bottom. And then this fraction, say it with me, is called 2 thirds. 2 thirds. Let's go over here and do this one. How many pieces are colored in? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 is going to be my top number. And then the bottom number is how many pieces are in my circle, the whole circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to say this fraction, I would read it 4 sixths. Can you say that? 4 sixths. Perfect. So you're going to finish looking at the picture. The top number is how many parts are colored. The bottom number is how many are all together to make the whole. You're going to write those fractions. And then in your workbook, you're going to do exercise 41. And the first page, you're going to write the fraction on the line, again, of how many are colored in. On the back page, they're going to give you the fraction, and you tell me how many parts out of the whole. Okay, so 1 out of the 6 equal parts. So we're going to break the fraction up to how many are colored and then the total. That's how you fill in each box. Okay, the number of pieces that are colored or shaded, and then the total pieces to make the whole shape. Okay, so I want you to do both of those things and have fun writing fractions.